All right, Nick, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, the fresh off of Super Bowl win, still the reigning, defending world champions of football. So that has to feel good. But now we have a story today about the Chiefs and some interesting things that they are looking at doing this upcoming season on an investment that they made last season.
Yeah, Miles, I think this is a really interesting story that you dug up that I think Chiefs fans will be really excited to learn more about. But as always, we got to take a time here and ask the Chiefs fans, and you guys are a really knowledgeable fan base. You guys really know your stuff, really diehard fans, as you guys have always been. So that leads into my question for you guys today. Give me the greatest offensive lineman in Chiefs history. There's a lot of recent names you can throw out there. There's a lot of old school names to throw out there. There's frankly a lot of great offensive linemen in Kansas City Chiefs history. And that's why I want you guys to give us the best one of all time in the comment section below. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear a word from our partner of today's video. And that, of course, is Neuro. But all right, Miles, what you got? What's going on in Kansas City?
Yeah, Nick. So we all know about the flip flop of the Chiefs' offensive line this free agency period. They lose Orlando Brown Jr. to the Bengals. He left to go to the Bengals for greener pastures, more money, etc., etc. But the Chiefs are smart. They always have a contingency plan, and I think they may have even expected this to happen. That just seems like the organization they are. Tyreek Hill left. They had a contingency plan. They're ready to go. But this time, it's not like bringing in Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It's not like bringing in, guys like Kadarius Toney or Juju Smith-Schuster. This time, it's a guy that they drafted last year that they're really loving. And I'm going to get to the tweet here in just a second, Nick. I'm going to pull it up. But this was from Matt McCullen at KC Chiefs Matt. He tweeted that he heard Brett Veach expects Darion Canard to get reps at both tackle and guard during the offseason training program. Veach has been very excited about the progress Canard has made over the course of his rookie season, Nick. So I think this is really cool. I like it. I know you like it because we were extremely high on Canard coming into and out of the draft when the Chiefs picked him up. We thought this guy was an excellent football player, an absolute road grader, just a beast of a human being. I think he's going to be a really, really great addition to the Chiefs' offensive line. And the key here is he's going to be at tackle and guard. So they're trying him out at all positions, wherever he's going to be the most effective. And I think this leaves them the most flexible in the draft as well. Because if he works out at guard, if he works out at tackle, they can kind of supplement through the draft or through whatever other addition they want to add to this offensive line. What do you think about Canard and especially Veach's comments on Canard, Nick?
Yeah, so sometimes and we're guilty of this too, but everyone in the media, when they look at teams that are roster building and make moves in the offseason, we see it almost like it's like Madden, right? You had a player that's rated at like a 75. Well, you want to get rid of him and bring in a guy who's an 80. Or you have a player who's a 60, get rid of him when we want to bring in a guy who's a 75, right? We just look at the scores based on what they were last year and assume that's set in stone. That's really not the case. These are human beings, and especially with a lot of these younger players, they have a chance to develop and grow and get better. And that's always the mark of a good organization, one who is able to grow and develop players and put them in situations to get better. I take a step back and I look at what a lot of excellent organizations do and a lot of great business leaders do and what they're able to do and find businesses or people and make them better. You look at guys like Elon Musk. Elon Musk didn't found Tesla. He joined late in Tesla and helped elevate it to what it is today. Warren Buffett doesn't, and he didn't find the hundreds of companies that he owns. He just finds these companies and he acquires them and integrates them into his business. Look at Shark Tank. It's the same thing. All these investors, they find these guys, they invest in them to hopefully elevate them and develop them into what they could possibly become. And that's what smart NFL organizations follow that same trend. They drafted Canard, who I agree, this guy was really high. I really liked him out of Kentucky. Big, strong, physical guy, really good player, a lot of experience, SEC pass rushers he always went up against. I think he was a guy who's going to be a heck of an NFL guy. But the fact that they're able to develop him, and it looks like he's doing a great job in that progression, to me shows the Chiefs are hitting it on all sides, right? They're making smart moves in who they're acquiring. They're not overpaying for players that are on their team. So, they make the right acquisitions in, they make the right acquisitions out, and they also focus on developing their guys too. Because that's the easiest way, to go back to my Madden analogy, to get a guy from, instead of cutting a guy that's a 75 and trying to bring in a guy who's an 80, the best thing to do is have a guy who's a 75 and you paid for him when he was a 75 and develop him up to an 80. That's what the smart organizations do. And that's exactly what Veach, Andy Reid, and company are doing in Kansas City. And it's that kind of trend, right? Developing guys, getting better year in and year out with the talent you already have on your roster that opens up a lot of cap space to fill in the holes, to work around the contracts like Patrick Mahomes has. From that perspective, this is another really great sign for Kansas City. I feel like every time we talk about the Chiefs, it's just more and more good news. And I swear we're not Chiefs homers, Miles, but they seem to just absolutely be crushing it year in and year out with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Nick, and in case people forgot just how good this guy was in the draft, coming into Kansas City, and they get him in a 5th-round steal here, a guy that could be a potential offensive line starter. That's pretty big. But I want to go over some of the points they did in his draft profile. These are the things I think were the most prudent. Is one, stone cold killer mentality, will pancake defenders, then dive on top of them. The torque he can generate is insane. He throws around 300-pounders like it is nothing. Then, most importantly, he has the ideal NFL build at 6'5", and he can easily go from his 322 up to like 345 pounds if needed. He has the perfect frame to put on weight. And this guy seems like a bad man, Nick. But the other thing that is very important is one thing we go back to during the draft process, and when we're looking at players, is we like a guy throughout college has progressed every year. In 2019, he was 89.2. 2020, he was at 91.5. In 2021, he graded out as a 91.9, so almost 92. That's an elite level grade. This guy was really good all throughout his years at Kentucky, playing against top SEC talent all the time. So I really like to see Canard getting more reps. I want to see him progress through spring training, summer training, OTAs, all that kind of stuff. And I think that he's going to be a very valuable addition this coming season.
And he's a 5th-round pick, right? So it's one of those things, as he gets better and as he improves and as he fills his role, most likely as a depth guy, his investment, the return on investment, it's automatically going to hit because it's just a 5th-round pick. What was he, pick 145? I mean, from that perspective, the Chiefs, as long as they get something out of Canard, he's definitely worth a pick. And based on these reports, it looks like they're definitely going to get a lot more than something out of this guy. So yeah, I agree with you 100%, Miles. I'm really excited to see what this guy does for Kansas City going to 2023 and potentially beyond as well. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.